Okay guys, this is Mr. Riz. We're at section 1.5. This is angle relationships, and we're going to learn a lot of vocab. Make sure you guys understand how to do these. Okay, first let's look at this figure here, and we're going to match the vocab that we have with these angles. So let's start, just work away like a clock, and let's start in the top left. So angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary angles and a linear pair. Now supplementary angles mean they're angles that add up to equal 180. Linear pair are two angles that are adjacent that add up to equal 180. Alright, moving over to this side. Angle 4 and angle 5 are complementary angles and adjacent angles. Now complementary, like supplementary, add up to equal 90 degrees. And adjacent means they share a side. Let's start here. Angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical angles. Vertical angles are two angles that are opposite each other, or technically angles formed by intersecting lines. Now vertical angles are always congruent. And lastly, but not least, W and X are perpendicular. And actually, technically, what we need, and I've told you guys before, when you see a little box there, to determine that it's a right angle. Okay. Now that we know that vocab, let's move on to the next part. What we have here is a graphic organizer, and we're going to take the terms adjacent angles, complementary angles, vertical angles, and supplementary angles, and determine what they are. Now up here, what we're going to do are take the two angles that are a relationship due to position, so where they're located, and those are adjacent angles and vertical angles. Adjacent angles have to be right next to each other, vertical angles have to be across from each other, depending on where their position is determined. Now, relationships due to angle measures are supplementary and complementary angles, because it doesn't matter where they're located. A supplementary angles are two angles that add up to equal 180. Same thing, doesn't matter where they're located. Complementary angles add up to equal 90 degrees. Now what we're going to do next is some math involving this vocab. So let's first look at perpendiculars. Find the measure of angle ABC is equal to 2x plus 12. Find x so that BC is perpendicular to BA. So if these two angles are perpendicular, this has to equal 90 degrees. So what we can say is that 2x plus 12 equals 90 degrees. So when we simplify, we get x equals 39. Pretty easy. Okay, let's do some more. Okay, we have a situation here. We have angle A is 3x plus 15, and angle B is 2x plus 35. And what I want you to do is three different things. First, let's find x if A and B are supplementary. B is find x if A and B are complementary. And the third thing is find x if A and B are vertical. So we have three different scenarios, so we'll get three different answers. Well, if they're supplementary means they add up to equal 180. So what we're going to do is do A plus B equals 180. So we get 3x plus 15 plus 2x plus 35 equals 180. Now this is going to simplify to 5x plus 50 equals 180. Subtract 50, so 5x equals 130, and so x equals 26. So there we go, if they want to be supplementary angles. Next thing, if we want to, actually let's do this. If we wanted to do this, we wanted to plug it back in to figure out what it is. That means angle A is If we plug back in, angle A would be 93 and angle B would be 87. Alright, next we'll do part B. If they're complementary, we're going to do angle A plus angle B equals 90. So it starts out the same way. 3x plus 15 plus 2x plus 35. Sorry for my handwriting. I am writing with my finger. I forgot my stylus. And then we simplify. So we get 5x plus 50 equals 90. Subtract 50 and we get 5x equals 40. So x equals 8. And when we plug that back in, angle A would be 39 and angle B would be 51. Alright, now part C. If they are vertical angles, what we're going to do is do angle A equals angle B. So we get 3x plus 15 equals 2x plus 35. Alright, so we're going to subtract the smaller x, and so we get x plus 15 equals 35. And then subtract 15 from both sides, so x would equal 20. And so if we were to plug it back in, 20 angle A would equal, angle A would be 75, whoa, that's not a pen, 75, and angle B would also equal 75. There we go. So there's the section. We'll be spending some time on these because this is very important vocabulary for this section.